Hey everyone. I wanted to hop on here and do a collective reading with my astrology cards for the Venus star point that we are in right now. So the Venus and Mars are both in the heart of the sun, right? They're both conjunct the sun, creating this beautiful cazimi. A cazimi is really just when Venus and the sun are conjunct and together, but Mars is also involved in this. And so these planets are all in Capricorn. Right now, as we speak, Venus and the sun are at the same degree point, and Mars is just 1 degree point away. And so it's this beautiful sort of synergy energy happening between the divine feminine, the divine masculine, and our life force energy, our reason for being here on this earthly planet. And so I wanted to do this collective reading and just bring some insight into this opportunity, right? So when Venus and the sun come together, it's an opportunity because Venus connects us with so many themes, right? It connects us with our self value, our relationship with money, our relationship with feminine energy, relationships with women or women identified people. Really, the feminine connecting with the feminine type of relationships. Also, our health, our wellness, right? Our own ability to place value on something, place value on ourselves, place value on other people, place value on things, right? And it's definitely a very potent time when all of that is being lit up by the sun, right? And so the sun shines a spotlight on whatever it's touching or connecting with. And so we also have Mars involved, which means that whatever we identify we want right now, we have extra oomph or extra power to kind of move forward with it because Mars wants to move something forward. Now, these planets in Capricorn, make this a very wise process, right? Because Capricorn connects us with our wise decision making abilities. And so Mars, who typically wants to just force itself ahead, just to move ahead, to get ahead, to make moves of some kind, Capricorn energy is sort of it has this almost like Mars is wearing ankle weights in Capricorn, right? Because you're not going to be able to run as fast with ankle weights. You can still move and you can still move forward, but you've got this awareness that yeah, like I'm not going to sprint right now. And so I think that that's a really powerful part of this Kazimi or this stellium, this star point Capricorn energy that we've got going on with Venus, Mars, and the Sun. So I wanted to do this collective reading for you. And I want to ask, what is in the way of you maximizing the potential of this very rare, very unique Kazimi Venus star point working with Mars, right? This rare occasion that we're in this sign of Capricorn in Capricorn season. And so the first card that comes up, it's the planet Mercury, right? So Mercury is the messenger planet, hence the butterfly, right? The butterfly is going to go around and make sure everybody has the information. Everyone has the download, the update, right? And so we actually have Mercury in Capricorn as well, right? So Mercury in Capricorn isn't um, at those close degree points to the sun, moon, and oh, sorry, the sun, Venus, and Mars, but Mercury is in the sign of Capricorn right now. And so it does add even more oomph, right? Even more power to this configuration of Capricorn energy. Now, Mercury in Capricorn thinks before it speaks, right? Right. So Mercury is our communication style, and Mercury in Capricorn is very calculated, very thought through, right? Not going to say anything that doesn't need to be said. And so I think that maybe consciously working with this Mercury is what we're being called to do. Because even though it's not part of the conjunction, right, with the Sun, Mars, and Venus right now, it is within the energy sphere of Capricorn because it's in that sign right now. And so how what does that mean and how do we work with that? So Capricorn is always trying to get us to slow down and think through. And Mercury is about how we process information, how we think, how we receive information, right? And so I think it's just a call to pause, when you receive information, to pause before you give information and just allow yourself to think about the future, right? Okay, how is me saying this going to affect the future? How is me, um, you know, receiving this information and responding right away, responding too quickly, going to affect the future, right? So Capricorn energy is always thinking about the repercussions of actions, the rewards of actions, right? Like what will happen from this action, this conversation. And Capricorn is calculated, right? So Capricorn has already in mind what they want to happen from this conversation, right? And so Capricorn has eye on the prize. And so, with this Mercury, we're being called to remember what is the prize that we have our eye on, right? And any other information that's coming in, right? Because Mercury, it's just about information. People that have a lot of signs in their chart, a lot of planets that are Mercury ruled, Mercury connected, right? Um, they can be very information based people, right? And so when you're about information, you can get flooded with information, right? But Capricorn is very strategic and not interested in all of the information. They're interested in the information that's going to help them move forward and achieve their goal. And so I think that's really the message here is don't allow yourself to get distracted by information that does not align with your actual goal that you have in mind. So this could be about just reminding yourself, what is my goal? Okay? What is my goal that I want to focus on, right? And I think that that can be a lot of the work for people is just identifying a goal and sticking to it, without feeling scattered in that. And it doesn't mean that you don't have your own style of reaching a goal because I believe that 100%. I also feel like as long as you know that you're doing it in your own way, that's fine. But if you're just allowing yourself to have information overload or just, distractions or, making yourself this like sponge for information, that might be your sign with this reading that the butterfly is going to way too many different flowers at this point, right? Like there's a certain type of flower the butterfly is seeking out, and every other flower, even if they're pretty, you're gonna keep flying, right? So that's the first card. And then I'm gonna pull one more card. So we know that that's an obstacle, right? Trying to identify what information is mine to receive, what's not, what information is mine to deliver, what's not. That's all important. And so what's the other piece of it? So the other piece of it is the sun, right? And so you see the sun with this sort of fiery, um, flame coming out of it. and the roses around it. The sun connects us with Leo energy. The sun is fiery. Leo is a fire sign. And you can see this fire and it's very fixed. It's very fixated, right? With Leo being a fixed sign, it's very fixated on something, right? There's you've identified what it is that you're fixated on. You've identified what it is what you're passionate about, what you're going to be loyal to, right? And in Capricorn, right, with the sun in Capricorn lighting up Venus and Mars, there is this newfound loyalty and commitment to your passions and to who and what you value and the means in which you're willing to reach for in order to move that forward, right? And to stay the course. Staying the course is a big Capricorn theme as well. And so, Mercury is reminding us, don't get lost in too many details. Don't get lost in information that's not yours to receive or give. And the sun is reminding us to stay loyal to what our passion is. What is your passion? What is your goal? And how can you protect that, right? How can you be so loyal and committed to that in this way of Capricorn, which is methodical steps towards that goal and not getting distracted by everybody else's stuff, information, all of that. And so I hope you found this helpful. I'm feeling really positive about this conjunction or this kazumi, this Venus star point. Um, Again, because Mars is involved. Mars is like, let's move it forward. Let's not even just sit in this. Like, even if we're going to take a nice, slow, turtle pace here, like, let's take that first step. And so, yeah, I'm here to remind you that it is time to do that. It is time to take that next step. Just make sure you know and remind yourself what your goal is and what it is that you are actually going to be loyal to as you move forward. I'm sending everyone love. Thanks for being here.